You dropped out of high school to pursue content creation and eventually music. Do you have any advice for young people who think, wait a sec, should I drop out and focus on what I love too? What would you say to them?
I usually say go for it.
So I was going to call this the Bailey Spin interview, but then I realized I could just call it the Bailey Spinterview. Welcome to that.
I love that. Great pun on words.
You've got a new song out called Romance is Dead. It's a pop punk, hard driving, romance is dead type of anthem. Is that something you genuinely believe?
Yeah, and that's definitely where the song came from. I went like 2 years without going on a single date. I guess I kind of raised my standards and I stepped back and like took a look. I was like, this is not what I want it to be. And I think that's why I choose to be single because nobody is at the expectations that I want. And that's where Romance Instead came from.
In the music video, there's a lot of scenery around you that's sort of more old world, fine china displays and ornate decorations. Do you think maybe, okay, so not only in your sense of romance and courtship, but also in your sense of style, do you see yourself as more of an old soul?
I definitely am a little bit. I love a lot of the 2000s trends, which isn't so far back, but there's a lot of things that I incorporate from a lot of different eras. I'm just a very old school girl. I love the imagery and Romance Instead. All the 2000s, anything a little bit more vintage, I just love.
This could be a little bit of a difficult question, but how do you think personally Gen Z and even younger Gen Alpha, what do they got to do?
To bring romance back, I think people need to do what I did and take a step back. And it's like, is this how I want to be treated or how I want to treat other people? I think it's a lot of self-reflection, definitely, because Gen Z is a lot of the problem for sure.
Now, it's funny you say that because you're also sort of a Gen Z style content creator, especially over on TikTok. What do you think is sort of the secret to your success over on TikTok, especially? What is it that draws people to you?
I think it's a lot of my originality first, and I'm very, very diligent at posting every single day. So people never really wondered where did I go because I never had left. I just kept going every single day over and over again. And I like to bring a lot of comedy into the videos and try to stay in my own lane and come up with concepts I can work a series off of that are original to me and that I can come up with a new idea every day and still stay on the same track. So I think it's a lot of the time because of the series, people want to come back and know what happens next or what year I'm going to be in next. And a lot of the comedy, people have told me a lot of times that they love my videos because they make them laugh. And I love that. I wanted to create a little safe space for everyone just to laugh. I'm definitely leaning more towards Gen Z. They love the POVs. I think it's because they're a little confusing unless you understand the TikTok concept of a POV.
Yeah, I've definitely seen the commentary of being like, that's not what a point of view is. But it's like, okay, granted, but that's not what POV means anymore.
Yeah, it's like you're watching me. It's
Yeah.
your point of view, not mine.
So, from your perspective, then, let's do a little POV. What words would you use to describe POV? You're currently doing a radio interview with the Gluten Free Radio Show.
My first word comes to mind is satire. I'm never very serious. All of them are I'm just joking. Like comedy a lot of the time, just trying to make people laugh.
I mean, yeah, if you go on and if you treat all of this stuff so seriously, it starts to become more of a job and less of a passion, I guess.
Yeah.
So, especially because you in your life, you took a little bit of a different route, sort of than most people your age. You dropped out of high school to pursue content creation and eventually music. That's obviously not what people say you should do with your life, but it worked for you. So, do you have any advice for young people who might idolize or look up to what it is that you're doing and think, wait a sec, should I drop out and focus on what I love too? What would you say to them?
Honestly, it definitely takes a lot of thinking. You have to handle it from every perspective. If you want to have an education, then if you want to follow your dream and jump on something right at the moment, I usually say go for it because you just have to believe in the dream. I have a tattoo that says live your dream, and I have physically done that. Just like manifest your future. If you want to do something, go and put your foot in the door and do it. Like there's nothing stopping you but yourself. You don't have to care what the comments say. You just got to go and put yourself out there because that's how you grow and that's how you become something even bigger. And for me, I was at a point where I had become something bigger, and that decision really varies from person to person because some people, their content can also fit into a school life. But personally, I could not really get it to fit, and it was just overwhelming. But I'm kind of for it. I think a lot of the alternative career paths are coming up nowadays, and people are being more artistic, and I love that.
I'm glad you brought up the tattoos as well, because I wanted to ask about those. You've got Live Your Dream, but what else do you have? Like, how many total tattoos do you have?
A lot of them are my hands, actually. I have 10 total. So there's five on each hand. So like this is the bulk of it. And they're pretty small, and you'd be like, oh, those are like, they don't count as one. They're all separate tattoos that I got. And then I have quite a lot on this arm. I just got more. I have a lot. I'm kind of a live your life. You you kind of only live once. And I love tattoos. I love the way they look on people. And I love it's like an expression of self. And so I just kind of kept going.
What's the latest one you got? Because I saw you posted a TikTok where you were removing the wrapping, but can you give us a little up close look at it?
Yeah, it was this one. This is
Nice.
let me see. I don't know how to turn my arm this way. This is a rose on fire. And it's kind of in relation to Romance is Dead. My middle name is Rose, and I have another tattoo as a rose. It was the first one I got. And then I got this and I saw this and I was like, that on my body. And at the beginning of Romance is Dead, I have a rose on fire in my hand. And then I burned the house down with that rose. So it really was just like full circle. And I loved this so much. It's one of the
Right.
only ones that have true meaning.
The burning rose is sort of becoming, a lot of artists have like a calling card. Do you think the burning rose could become your sort of thing?
I definitely think it could because it still relates to self and it kind of represents me. I'm just like, burn it. Like, just do it.
All right. Well, let's tackle another topic for you real quick, and that is how your sexuality impacts your music. You have mentioned before you grew up pansexual in a household that didn't really understand that, in a community that didn't really understand that. And the world is warming up to that more so than ever. Do you still feel like people have a long way to go to understand what exactly is going on with your sexuality and how you view the world and how you present yourself?
I definitely think it's mostly me. I feel like I say there's a little bit of confusion with pansexuals still, but a lot of people really do understand me and they get it and they never question me. It's just that I'm so in my own head about it and I spent so long repressing it that I feel kind of awkward trying to talk about my sexuality to anyone. I just feel awkward and like I don't know what I'm saying and that I don't want to discredit myself, but trying to learn how to fully express yourself and like say what's really on your mind has been a struggle for me. It's just been like I figured it out one day and then I was not sure where to go from there and how to let other people know and become more comfortable and confident and how I represented myself and how I felt. It's a lot of that. I struggle a lot with the confidence behind it mostly, but other people have been very accepting.
How do you see that influencing your music, if it does at all?
I wanted to keep the pronouns out because the way it influences my music is it allows other people to listen completely regardless of what situation they're in. I'm just keeping like a general topic. So we're not including it at all. I want to make a safe space for everyone in case you don't feel safe somewhere. And my music, you'll be able to relate and listen wherever you are without any worry because I just like to keep it fully out. And I think that just kind of me, I have a hard time expressing myself sometimes. So I'm like, if I can create a safe space for everyone through my music, then I absolutely will.
You've got a lot of that modern pop punk rock element to you. And I saw that you had even tweeted that, your obsession with rock is just getting just bigger and bigger. Do you think you have any plans to do the thing that every rock band dreams of, and that is drop an album and tour the world?
I definitely want to do that. I feel like I'm a in the moment kind of girl. So I'm like really dropping one song was so much for me. It's like really becoming like I'm thinking about it. But I think it's everyone's dream. I'd love that. Like rocking on the stage with a band would be a dream, and I would love that.
For sure. Well, fingers crossed that it happens for you, Bailey Spinn. I really appreciate the time here today.
Thank you so much. Great to be here.